We are now on step 8 of our 3D printer calibration, and we're going to do temperature tuning. So temperature tuning is something that you'd actually want to do for each type of filament that you're 3D printing with. If you're having any issues or you have a filament that you're not quite sure what temperature you want to print it at. So it's got a G-code generator again, and what it's going to do is it's going to build this cool little tower, and we're going to increment our temperature values by 5 degrees Celsius. And we're going to start our first layer at 200 degrees Celsius. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and download our G-code, and we're going to get started. I'm going to download the G-code, save it as temperature, and I've got it open up in Simplify 3D so you can see the different colors represent the different temperature settings. So once again, we're going to go from 190 to 210 in 5 degrees Celsius increments. So let's throw this G-code on an SD card, put it in our Ender 3 V2 or whatever 3D printer you have, and print off this temperature tower. Now I've got my SD card in the 3D printer. I'm going to toggle to print. Temperature is what I saved mine as. I've gone ahead and preheated mine, so we will get started and quickly go through this print and examine our results. So our temperature tower is done now, and it looks like we actually had the best quality in the 205 to 210 range. Now, there's a little bit of stringing in the 190s to 200, and part of that is because I didn't change my retraction settings from 5 millimeters to 7 millimeters. So that would improve. So we're going to retest this, but we're going to spice it up a little bit. I've got a wood-based PLA filament that I really would like to see how temperature changes the colors as well as the print quality of the wood-based PLA. So we're going to do that next. We have just finished our test for our standard silver PLA that we were using, and now I've got a wood-based PLA. It's 20% wood, 80% PLA that I would like to see how the temperature varies the color and quality of that material. So I'm going to set my bed temperature to 60, 220 by 220 for the Ender 3 V2. I'm going to have the fan on since it's PLA. Now I didn't change this last time, I did this time. The retraction distance, I had a little bit of stringing at the varying temperatures, and I think part of that was due to the retraction distance still being 5 millimeters. So this time though, I'm going to go from 190. The filament says from 190 to 225. So I'm going to do 190. 200, 205, 215, and 225. I'm going to download this G-code. And I'm going to just name this one temperature wood. And I'm going to put that on an SD card, throw it over on the printer, print it out, and we'll take a look at the results. Boy, this was some really stringy stuff. We have all sorts of stringing going on. Basically, when we get to really high temperatures, there is continual stringing. So based off this test, I would say we're best at 190, but even at 190, we had a little bit of stringing. This type of wood-based filament may even need some tweaking to the retraction settings and have a little bit more retraction in between. With that said, this is why it's important to, even though this is called PLA, whenever you're using exotic or new types of materials, go ahead and just run a temperature test. Leave it on an SD card or use the Teaching Tech website and make yourself a new temperature tower. Thanks.